know.
Do we remember the song, Where's Misha? Do we know that?
Where's Misha?
Honestly, I don't know.
Where's Misha?
Oh, Rob, I don't know.
Where's Misha?
I'm concerned and I have no idea.
Where's Misha?
Rob, I don't know. I'll be honest, now I'm wondering, was he captured by aliens and thrown in the trunk of a car and driven around town, beaten up by people who didn't like him, they don't know the show, they think he's nobody, they don't realize he's kind of famous. Now they're hurting him. Oh my gosh, what if Misha's in the wrong hands? Well, the enemy is going to be used for profit when they sell all his organs. I gotta ask, where's Misha?
I don't know. Where's Misha?
Dear God, I don't know.
Where's Misha?
You keep asking me, but I don't know.
I didn't hear you. Where's Misha?
I don't know. I'm gonna go and look around backstage, see if anyone has seen him. Sorry to bother you, sir. Do you know where Misha is? No, I don't.
Where's Misha? He's right there. There's Misha.
Now I know.
There's Misha. Now we know.
Okay. I'm thrilled to have Misha here. Sometimes things go really well when you're just making crap up, and sometimes they almost go horribly wrong. And I did not know that Misha was going to be right there on the stairs. And
I
almost.
saw the look on your face. You're like, it's the way things work around here. You guys may not know that, but Rich will come backstage. He's like, guys, come here. I got a little bit. You go up there, you do the thing, and then I'm gonna come out and I'm gonna do the thing, and then and they'll love it. I think they'll love it. So you could tell when he went backstage just now that he had a little bit planned, and he opened the curtain and he found me standing 6 inches from his penis. And he was like, this is not the bit. This is not my plan. I wasn't expecting you here.
And I had to back up fast. I'm telling you, that train was going downhill, and I'm like, I almost said, "Where's Misha?" under my foot. We almost made out.
Again, those were shrieks of horror that they were. I know.
You're scaring them, Rich.
I'm not going to waste anybody's time, but to say simply, ladies and gentlemen, Misha Collins. Bye, Billy. I've never done a promposal. That's a clever twist before, so I'm just gonna wing it. Also, clever double entendre there. I'm not Dean. Oh, will you go to prom with me? There's no RSVP information here, so I don't know how to get in touch with you. What's that? The date's on the back. May 13, 2016. Great. That's a good start in terms of logistics. There are other factors that we should talk about at some point. Like where. Ah, I see. So, she's not telling me where until I agree to go. You drive a hard bargain, young woman. How does that mean that you're 16 or 17 years old? You're 18. Really? Everyone's like, ah, she's legal.
disgusting crowd. I didn't realize how lascivious you were until just now. Holy shit, it's a big crowd too. Oh my god! This is terrifying. There are thousands of people in this room. By show of hands, how many of you are from Florida? And how many of you are foreigners, outsiders, not from Florida? Respect for showing. But a significant portion of those are from Georgia, right? Okay. What? I don't speak that language. I'm sorry. And how many of you are from Ecuador? One. Yes. I love the Ecuador shout out. Are you really from Ecuador? Did you just you're not from. You're from Peru? That's not Ecuador. Same continent. Wait, there is someone from Ecuador? Oh, she's jumping quite high. Oh, okay. I believe you. Based on enthusiasm alone, I take you as an Ecuadorian. Glad you made it. I haven't yet. I'm still thinking about it. You cut me a little slack, all right?
I love you, Misha!
Are you asking anyone else to the prom? Just me? Oh, that's so much pressure. Can we work this out a little bit? If I say, this is totally hypothetical and probably won't happen, but if I, for some reason, said no, would you then have somebody else that you would ask after that, or is this it? Like, I feel a lot of pressure right now, and I don't know where that's coming from. I don't know why I feel that. You're not playing like that super. I would always imagine doing like the super casual thing about a prom, like a promposal. I'd be like, hey, I just realized prom's next week, and I was like, not gonna go, and then I realized, hey, maybe you're going. You want to go with me? Maybe we could like share an Uber. That's how I would probably approach it. But you've got a different approach. Great. No, this is good. It's public. It's almost like on a jumbotron. I always worry about that for those guys at the stadiums who are like, hey, Lucy, will you marry me? And she's like, no. They always say yes, but that's gotta happen every once in a while. No, we're just friends. No, but I think that we have prospects here. Yeah, what geographic region do you live in? Miami is not a geographic region, it's a city. Okay, so great. So as far as continental US, as far as you can get away from where I live. Perfect. Does your father own a private jet? No, so that's sort of a strike against you. I'm still working on it though, still thinking it over. Thank you for the invitation. I love that the crowd is like getting angry. It's like, say yes, you asshole! What's the fucking problem with her, you prick? Jesus. How hard is it? Nobody loves her, man. Don't do this to her. I'm thinking about it. I'm feeling really guilty right now, so it might work. How are you? I can't hear you. Can you guys hear her?
No. Can I go down there? Hello?
Yes.
Hi, Misha Collins.
Hi.
I would like to know, what is the worst prank that Jaxcon and Jared have ever pulled on you?
That's so hard to pick.
I don't know. So I don't know. You guys have a lot. How many people are first timers here? So you guys haven't met Jared and Jensen yet. I'm sure a lot of you will be here tomorrow and you'll get to meet them and you'll see that they're horrible human beings. But the worst things that they've done to me, God, it's so hard to choose. There's so many to pick from. Because they're bad in different ways, the things that they've done to me. Like, you could say, oh, well, you know, the time that Jared put, you know, fish under the seat of my car and left it there. That's bad, because that ruins your car, right? It smells terrible. Or you could say the time that Jared pied me in the face in front of the whole crew. And then Jensen waited until I changed my clothes and got cleaned up and then did it to me again. Or you could say, I actually think that I actually have an answer, I think. I think that the worst time was we were shooting and we were just it was one of those days where Jared and Jensen were just messing with me to no end when we were shooting. So they were trying to make me laugh. Which is very, very easy to do. If I'm not supposed to be laughing, I can pretty much not help myself and I will laugh. Like for instance, my 6th grade teacher's funeral. It was awful. It was really awful. What? How would you laugh at that? Yeah, what kind of a human being? A horrible human being would do that? I don't know. Somebody who's really, really awful inside. And then if I'm not supposed to laugh, I just can't help it, and I start laughing. And yeah, oh man, well maybe we should have a problem together then. So while you're filming, it's considered extremely unprofessional it's called to laugh while you're on camera. When it's not appropriate for the material. And it's never appropriate on Supernatural. Cass doesn't even smile, let alone laugh. So I laugh a lot, and I laugh easily, and it doesn't take much. And they know that, and so they were just making my life kind of miserable one day, and they wouldn't stop. And I was laughing and laughing and laughing. There's a little outtake, it's on the gag reel, where I say something about if they had told me that this is what it was going to be like in drama school. And Jared and Jensen jump in the front of the camera and they're like, oh, you went to drama school. Anyway, it was so bad that so we were shooting on location that day. There were people who drove over from the offices at the studio, which is about 10 miles away. They heard what was happening on set. Drove over just to watch. Like, guys, you gotta get over here. It's happening. I think Misha's having a nervous breakdown. You gotta come over and watch. So people just came over and watched and sat behind the monitors and watched me just unravel. And the next day, just to give you an indication of how bad it got, the next day, Jensen came up to me and apologized. Which is pretty ridiculous. It was pretty good. So yeah, there's been a lot. It's been pretty traumatic. I'm in counseling right now, so I think that I'm gonna work through a lot of it eventually. And if not, you know, there's always future lives. Thank you. Hi.
Hi. Oh my God, you're amazing. I have 2 questions. It's like a 2-parter.
Okay.
If you were to be any other character on the show, Supernatural, what would you be?
The Impala.
And if you were to be any other creature on the show, what would you be?
Jared Padalecki. Thank you. Hi.
Hi! Oh my God, I'm totally fangirling out right now. So my question is, over 11 seasons, there's hundreds of years of lore and history and everything. Do you guys, as the actors, ever notice inconsistencies and point them out or argue with them, or don't you even care?
No.
No? Nothing?
Nope, there's never been any inconsistencies on the show.
Never?
No. Sometimes people watching the show think they've seen something that's inconsistent, or that doesn't line up, or that doesn't, you know, quite accurately reflect what has already happened earlier on the show in another episode, and then it turns out that person is wrong.
Well, then I'm wrong then, I apologize.
Well, did you say that you've seen, are you suggesting that you've seen
Never.
some sort of inconsistency?
Never.
Are we, I'm sorry, hold on one second. Are we talking about the same thing, Supernatural?
No.
The show Supernatural?
What?
Are we talking about Supernatural or Star Trek? Because if it's Star Trek, so you are, I feel like there's some innuendo here coming from you that
Never.
I actually don't really appreciate. That's suggesting that there's some kind of inconsistencies appearing in the show.
Hypothetically,
Yeah, the narrative.
if there were.
If there were.
If there were.
Yes.
Do you guys ever point it out or argue about it? Or?
No, that wouldn't
Okay.
happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even hypothetically. No.
Nope.
Well, thank you for your answer then. I appreciate it.
I mean, we do occasionally have little conversations like, okay, so in this scene, you're gonna teleport out of here. And I'll be like, okay, how do I teleport again? And then someone in the crew will say, you put your hand on the forehead and then you teleport. And somebody else will be like, no, I'm pretty sure it's you put your hand on your shoulder. And somebody else will say, no, I think you just stand next to them and then you teleport. And I'll be like, all right. Whichever one sounds most convincing is usually the one that I go with. There are times when we do have minor arguments about things. But there's definitely no inconsistency. I had a moment where we were shooting a couple of episodes out of order last season, which because of actors' availability, so that can get kind of confusing because we're shooting, episode 19, and then the next episode we shoot is episode 18, and it's hard to sort of keep everything in your head. And there was this one scene where I was going to find Dean, and we had some tracking device. We'd been tracking Dean, but we had lost the tracking device, if you were paying attention to the scripts. But we didn't really reference that, so I was like, well, I'm gonna go pick up Dean, but there was no way for me to know where Dean was. And I was like, guys, I think there's no way for me to know where Dean, like, how do I know where he is? Aren't we looking for him or something? And then everybody was like, Misha, like, we're on set at that point. It was Friday night, everyone was tired, everybody wanted to go home. And literally everyone was like, just shut the fuck up and shoot the scene. Who cares? Just shoot the scene and we can go home. And then later I went in for what's called ADR, which is looping, which is when you have to record, like if a plane flies over while you're saying your dialogue and you hear a plane engine there, then you have to record a little portion of your dialogue over again or something like that. And I had to go to ADR and add a line like, I'm gonna go pick up Dean because I found the tracking device again, or something. I had to justify it with some off-camera dialogue that made sense. So I felt vindicated, but nobody cared. Thank you for bringing that up.
Thank you very much.
What inconsistencies, before you walk away from that microphone, what inconsistencies do you think you have seen in the show?
None, Misha, absolutely.
No, I want to hear. I want to know. I want to know.
No, I'm sorry.
You're not getting off that easily. What? Am I being mean? Is that what you're saying?
Exactly what you said.
It's so easy to understand you when you all scream at once. Has anyone noticed any inconsistency ever? What is it? What's your inconsistency? You just raised your hand. You, yeah. Yes. Because this woman at the microphone won't speak.
They're doing great.
The handprint? Where did the scar tissue on Dean go? He had cosmetic surgery. We shot that sequence, but cut it out because it wasn't imperative to the storyline. Any other inconsistencies that you think you've seen? Yes, sir. What have you seen? How did we get into the bunker door when it's supposed to be impervious to every type of entry? Well, how did what? How did the Steins get in there? The Steins got in there. How did they get into the bunker, you mean? They had an old set of keys. They don't talk about that, but there had been a duplicate set of keys made at some point that Sam lost, and then the Steins found the keys. And foolishly, Sam had labeled the keychain "Secret Bunker Keys," so they knew exactly what they were for. Any other problems that you think you might have? Yes, Mike. Why didn't she climb out the window to escape? Yeah, it seems like it would have been easy, but no, she couldn't because she was letting her nails dry at that point. And that if you were paying attention to the storyline, you would have noticed that she was letting her nails dry in that scene, and so she couldn't climb out window without. Okay, I think that I've pretty adequately proven that there aren't any inconsistencies. There are not inconsistencies. There definitely are occasionally audience members who aren't following the storyline carefully and miss salient clues. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Go back and watch it again. You'll pick up the details. Hi.
Hi. First, I want to say that you're totally amazing. But
Don't actually stop though.